It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We only meet at places.
At places. The last time we met, that was at the Recording Academy
That's right.
event
That's right.
in Los Angeles.
That's
when
right.
we met each other.
Right.
But we've been on the road just pushing and making music and
You're
traveling.
always busy. You're always busy. How do you do it?
The thing is that when you have a sense of mission, when you agree that your purpose is the life that you're living, then you sacrifice every bodily comfort to be on that path consistently and constantly, and every challenge becomes a stepping stone towards your aim. That's what keeps me going.
Do you reach out to these people? Do you have an agency that does it for you? Because I don't know how it's done. But well, last week you were supposed to be here.
Yes.
When I checked, they said, "Oh, he's on his way to La Côte d'Ivoire." I'm like, oh.
Yes. What happened was last year. I'm also the United Nations Goodwill Ambassador.
Okay.
For Africa for Environment. So last week was one of the biggest meetings of all the ministers of environment from around the continent.
Oh.
About 45 of them met in Côte d'Ivoire. It's called AMSEN. So, and it's put together by the African Union and United Nations. So I was invited as the ambassador of the occasion, and also got to address all the 45 and co-ministers right before in the grand opening of the event in Abidjan. So it got the opportunity for me to really stress the importance of the environment, the importance of nature, the importance of preserving our natural assets. And African Development Bank was also launching a new digital framework to identify the wealth and capitalize the natural capital of Africa, in a way that there will be transparency for people to see what they have, to probably inoculate against exploitation. But at the same time, too, I feel that knowledge too could be a means by which natural assets too can be co-opted. So, but it's just knowledge.
But when you go to such places, what do you get to share your music? Do you perform?
Yes, a lot of times, most of the time, I go as an ambassador, but a lot of times I always have the opportunity to also, sing to the crowd and play music. So the UN, there's always a very, good balance of it. Like the last, when we had the plastic, that was in Nairobi, when all the negotiators from all around the world met in Nairobi to try and get a legislative instrument to govern, in terms of plastic pollution around the continent. When the thing became difficult, everybody was moved into the main hall, and I came and did a performance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Everybody got up, sang. Afterwards, they went in. Pressure was down, and then
Okay.
there was an outcome. Where there was all the countries agreed to now create a framework upon which they could create a legally binding what's it called, a document for, regulating, plastic pollution around the continent. So for me, it's like understanding the cause, because when you sing about transforming society, you also have to have the capacity to also engage the forces that are on the ground making that change, so that through what you do, you can amplify what they do, and at the same time to put meaning, real life, realistic meaning to the philosophy that I'm pushing. I want the environment to be clean. I want our waterways to be clean. I want us to stop cutting trees. I want us to plant more trees. I want our country to move to renewable green energy. I want our youth to have the opportunity to enter into agriculture, and all of these ideas that I feel socially can be impactful to transform you, the individual, rather than waiting for that the vote that you're going to cast is actually going to change your life, which we know that the vote can never change your life. So we are investing and spending way too much money on just campaign and elections than putting it into strategic
And development
initiatives to elevate our people, and I feel that we have to also take the mindset that if you don't do it for yourself, don't put your trust in someone else to come and change
Come to
your
think of
own
it,
conditions, you know.
Are you saying the voting is not important, or the transformation is not
No,
important?
voting is important, but for there to be for it to translate, you, the human being, also, you have to know that you can't invest your aspirations in a politician in the long run.
Do you vote?
I vote. I'm a Ghanaian, so I vote.
You vote in Ghana?
I vote in Ghana all the time. Yeah.
Meaning December 7th, you're going to vote?
I'm going to vote. Yes.
Okay.
As a citizen, it's my responsibility, my civic responsibility to vote. But what I'm saying is,
have you chosen who you're going to vote for?
Oh, of course, I've chosen who I'm going to vote for. Yes.
Do you mind sharing?
No, I'm not going to share, because then I'm influencing other people. I think that everybody has the right to make their own decisions. And what I'm saying is that we cannot spend so much on just the process of political election, thinking that once we do that, then the party is going to come and think about us. The thing is that nobody's out there pushing our agenda as a people. We the people, we just have to make sure that we are also working very hard in terms of what we want to see in our lives. Because in the long run, once your vote is done and somebody steps into the realm of power, as we know, then it becomes about only serving who were the architects of their stepping in that power. And we've seen that consistently. So it's important to support the process, because we need a living process that can allow us to shift and change power, and also diversify our political, perspectives in a different way, so that we have different aspects and philosophy being represented. But at the same time, that does not guarantee that because we cast our vote for a certain persona, they are going to be the ones that are going to change our lives. Because in the long run, it's all about people promising what they can deliver.
That's what the promise is. Yeah.
Yes. So we have to know that after you've been promised 5, 4, 6 times, and you've seen that the only important thing is what you wake up every morning and do for yourself, what decisions you make for yourself, how you work very hard, how you yourself go out there and transform your own life. In the long run, you stand alone.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Rocky Dawuni is my special guest. I'm going through your playlist, your catalog, and the kind of things, the titles I'm seeing. In Ghana, our favorite in Ghana song. Then I'm seeing Nairobi. You dedicated a song to Nairobi. What were you saying in that song?
Yes, I was invited by the government of Kenya, and then also Red Cross Kenya, during the time that there was when they had a political issue between Kenyatta and Raila Odinga.
Right.
I was invited to go and work on peace building when they were doing the follow-up election. So I went and worked with artists.
ZANU PF and MDC party. I remember
ZANU is Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went on the ground and worked with artists for peace building. We were in Kibera. I worked with all the top artists. It was using the energy of artistic creativity to advocate for peace. So we worked so much on the ground, the peace, before the elections happened.
So do you record this in Nairobi?
Yes. So when I was going and everywhere, I found out that there was such a disagreement in the community, and it was also due to the same political party mentality. Transformation. Everybody, brothers and sisters, were rising up and hating each other. And if you will go to a meeting, a community meeting, and then somebody will come and tap me and tell me, Rocky, the reason why it didn't happen was because this person is that tribe. You see, and I'll hear somebody say, I'm just like, that is so irresponsible that you think that because somebody is from a certain ethnic group, that means they are predisposed to a certain perspective. So I was like, let me make a song. Since I see this as a divided country, let me make a song on what everybody agrees on. And every Kenyan loved their capital.
Oh, wow.
They love Nairobi. So
I was there recently. I was there with my producer. I was there with Hagler. We got to Nairobi. Charlie, this issue. Where's Hagler? We got to Nairobi. we say, we don't go buy water. Hagla went to buy water. One bottle of water. He bought it with his bank card.
Yeah.
So he had an alert on his phone, regarding the deduction.
Yeah.
And then he checked and he said, Kwa, if like that thing, it be 25 Ghana cedis or 50. He said you want 30 Ghana. 30. It was $3. No, it wasn't $2, eh? Yeah, $2 or something like. He said, Kwa, tell me I won't drink. It was so funny.
Yes. But you see the value of water. So imagine
that. Yo, that's him.
Yeah.
How much did you buy the water in Kenya? He's going to check.
That's the value of water.
I was thirsty, but looking at us and me.
You go wait till Ghana.
Oh, yeah. Buy water for $2 is at $3. $3, one bottle of water in Kenya.
It's not
Why?
easy. But imagine.
Ghana, everything is cheaper here.
Yes, but imagine the value of water. And we are destroying all our waterways.
Can you imagine?
So just imagine that in
Sickening.
future,
Sickening.
what God has given us, the value of water is priceless. Mm-hmm. So destroying water just because of an immediate, wealth, acquisition of wealth, and destroying something that cannot be, your price cannot attach on, I feel is such a curse. And we need to rise up as a people and make sure that we focus on this galamsey issue.
It's crazy.
Because as even an ambassador for environment for the United Nations for Africa, you can imagine, I go to all these conferences and people just walk up to me from different countries and say, what is going on with this? And I tell them, I don't know. I have no words to explain. So all my people, let's stand up and stop this because it's robbing our future. It's destroying our livelihood. It's putting cyanide, mercury, all these heavy metals into our food chain. And then all of that is going into our waterways. So imagine that when you open your tap and you drink, some of this stuff that is in the rivers, we are connected to the rivers ourselves. We are part of this whole network of life. So imagine that the water that you're drinking and cooking too has these heavy metals in it.
Sad. Listeners, Rocky Dawuni is my special guest. Get on Facebook. The gentleman is here in his glory. Yes, the gentleman is here. Charlie, Rocky is a big man. Rocky is a big man. Big man. Yeah. Imagine, seeing Rocky out there, and how does it feel when, anyway, you've tasted stardom, you've tasted fame. How does it feel when your songs are played? Like you get to a place and your music is playing. They don't know you are coming. Or you sit in a public transport and your music is on the radio.
I just try to hide as far as I can so nobody
but
sees
you
me.
hide.
They'll be like, Rasta man, who's a Rocky? I'm just like, people tell me that.
Oh, who's a Rocky?
I'm like, everybody says I look like him. But the thing is that I feel that, every blessing, it's God, it's true God. So I hold that role with a lot of humility and a lot of gratitude. So I don't let it go into my head. And I feel that, once you become an instrument of a greater cause, of a greater idea, your light shines brighter. So for me, I don't see myself and I don't try to raise myself that, I'm this or I'm that. I'm just part of a Ghanaian child who had a dream, who believed in it and worked very hard and has seen that dream manifested just like everybody can do, So the fame thing, Charlie, you can't meet me for my cocoa farm. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yes.
The Grammy Grammy discussion had become huge at a point.
Really? It's become huge?
Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
it was at a point it was trending heavily on our radios. I mean, that was the discussion.
Okay.
At a point, Africa, we were getting nowhere. We lost out. You had been there. Yet,
Yes.
at a point, even of all dimensions, we forgot
Yes.
that, we've had representation.
Yes.
Rocky has taken us there.
Yes.
Why are we not discussing that? We are not proud of that. Then Angelique came, won it, topped it up. Then Bernard made an attempt. Then eventually he won.
Yeah.
To the extent that the guy had even performed on the Grammy stage, which was fulfilling. Like, we all felt proud as Africans.
Yeah.
When discussions are going on, yet they don't mention you. You've been there already. Like, I've raised this flag higher, not once. If my memory serves me right, you've been there about 2 or 3 times?
3 times.
3 times.
3 times nominated. Yeah. And the thing is that it's just about the nomination. To get and be nominated is not. And I feel that the work that you put in without thinking of awards, for me, that is what has worked. I've always believed in just doing the best that I can, the best music that I can, putting in the best effort that I can, because you're making a timeless piece of art. And beyond all the accolades, it's going to be judged. Bob and Fela never won Grammys before.
No nomination.
Yeah, all the people who were nominated at that time, where did they? Nobody hear of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the music is bigger than any kind of award. And I say that not to say that there's no value in the Grammys, but we have to focus more on how do we develop our system? How do we invest in our creative environment? High life music, which is the foundation of our music. When you go around, how many high life bands do you see playing out there? How many high life do you hear on the radio here? People travel to come to Ghana to experience high life. And when they come, you turn on the radio, it's like the playlist is totally different. Foreign. So who is doing who? You know what I mean? We have the capacity to change our situation, but we're thinking that the capacity has to come from somewhere else. Let's rise up and transform this place, and the Grammy will just be an icing on the cake. Let's inspire our young artists to be innovative, to be appreciative of their culture, to integrate their culture and their own identity into their creativity. That's what creativity is for. If you don't use it to represent who you are, then who are you? You know what I mean? So I feel that we can have those conversations because we are in the music business. And in terms of the business, you have to be strategic. And there's certain things that are key part of, like, let's say, awards. You have a record, you push it to the press, you do your press interviews, you do radio, all of these as to create a groundswell of, like, attention for your brand. So I understand that awards and Grammy is really the highest recognized.
It's good you've mentioned.
one,
It's good you've mentioned this, but let me push you a bit to the wall.
Yes.
Your music is predominantly reggae.
No, it's not. It's Afro roots.
Okay.
You see, that's why most people have missed the point that the reason why the music stands out is because how many reggae artists are in the world? It's a lot
Countless.
of them. Yeah, every continent. So for an artist to make a record, that first of all, my first nomination was for Best Reggae Album. My second nomination was for Best Global Music Album, another genre.
Right.
My third nomination was for Best Global Music Performance. So I have had nominations in 3 different categories as an artist. That's actually, many artists haven't had that opportunity. But it's because of the kind of music I make. I fuse reggae and Afrobeat and high life music. That has been my sound. My first album that was nominated, that was the sound. And I came here and I talked about
Right.
Afro. I said, this is the blueprint for us to go out there. Because if you listen, even the year I was nominated for Best Reggae Music Album, all the 4 albums sounded like reggae. My album was a big fusion of high life music,
The traditional
music, Afrobeat, all of that kind of stuff. That was why when the people were listening to this, like 1, 2, 3 sound like, oh wow, this is interesting. So people in their own privacy of their homes became fans of the album. And that is what, because the thing is that you can't influence how many thousands of people who are voting out there to choose your works. So for me, that's why nomination is winning for me, because I'm not out there trying to pitch my career on accolades and awards. How many accolades and awards do I get? I get it in so many different places, but that's not has been my focus. If anybody knows, my focus has been that I feel that the message in my music is of primary importance. So every stepping stone and light that I see is a victory for me.
If your music carries all of these messages, goodwill messages, and the kind of things you preach in your music.
Yes.
Recently, I'm sure you heard about Buju Banton's Drink Champs interview, where you mentioned that in Africa they are not championing Afrobeats properly, and the kind of songs we're doing are garbage, so to say. We don't preach any proper message in our music. When you first heard it, what was your immediate reaction?
All I said was that Afro roots that I'm doing is Afrobeats with message, and every kind of music goes through a journey, a trajectory. And a lot of times it starts from a certain foundation. It's inspired by certain things. If it's street culture, like even hip hop when it started, it was more break dance and street culture. That's how the bricks were how the foundation started. And then you move into places where you have the conscious movement who came, and then the commercial movement, and then all of that. And so there are stages of an evolution. So even dance hall went through that stage. It was slackness, and artists like Buju were the ones who came and were part of that movement, and then transformed into the conscious element of it.
Right.
So the thing is that for me, it's not to judge anything and say whether somebody is right or wrong or the same, but I know that every music, so Afrobeats evolution, I believe that the next stage will be where it's going to be able to embrace the important messaging and the important communication that is needed on this continent to inspire our youth, because our youth are listening to it. So, and music is a divine power. So everything you infuse in it, it changes your mindset. So our mindset has to be one of development, one of elevating our culture, one of making sure that our social situation, socio-political situation, inspiring our people, all of those things are addressed to the music. And I feel that that is just a matter of evolution. So that time, people like us have already been making that foundation, and even the song Rise is an answer to what Buju said. And we shouldn't look at it all in terms of negative, positive. We should look every vision or every dimension as constructive criticism that we can utilize to
But not only you. There are a lot of musicians that do conscious music or do music with goodwill messages.
That's what I'm saying.
And so, if not only you, does it mean that you disagree with what Buju said?
It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing. I'm saying that everybody has an opinion. It's like going to go sit in a negotiation. Some will say, I don't like you. You're like, thank you very much. And then you tell
someone's going to ask you, why don't you like me?
Why don't you like me? And then you'll be like, you don't like me because you don't know who
you
I am. You don't know who I am. So let me show you. You know what I mean? So I think that when we start taking things that, oh, do you agree or you don't agree, then we are becoming more programmable computer response to the question. For me, everybody has their opinion. My opinion is what I just told you, that is evolution. So whatever he's saying is already has been happening, and it just has not come to maybe his radar in terms of really being able to perceive that. But it is also a thing to know that there is a big opening there for our music to fill that space. And we are already doing that. So the thing is that let's just support African music, but African music has to be about something.
We're live on Hits 103.9 FM. I want to ask Rocky a question. Now, I'm asking you too whether you've heard his new song called Rise. Rocky says he's not heard the song. He told me in private. Oh, why are you laughing? Well, have you heard it?
I'm just waiting for you to play.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, listeners, no one has heard Rise. If you've not heard it yet, well, get on the streaming platforms. I'm sure it's already there.
It's on the streaming platform. And then the video, too, was shot by Twins Don't Beg. And then
my boys.
Also, another thing for people to understand that this is the Afro root sound.
Okay.
With conscious music. Just as Buju was trying to talk about, this already exists.
Right.
But the interesting thing was that I also worked with amazing producers, Grammy-nominated producer Nabein, who worked on Kanye West's last album, also Trevor, what's it called?
Who's Nabein? Is he Ghanaian?
Yeah, he's Ghanaian.
Oh, the Ghanaian boy. Oh, cute.
Yeah, the one who was nominated for Grammy.
Right.
Him, and then also he was on Travis Scott's new album too. And then Firstborn.
I think he came to Ghana recently.
Yes. And then Firstborn Mastermind, who did a lot of Nicki Minaj's stuff, they came together as a production team for this Interpreting My Afro Root Sound, which is a fusion of Afrobeat, high life, reggae music, and then this was also mixed by Marshall Bryant, who does Mary J. Blige, Kanye West, and a whole lot. So this was a marquee, amazing, team of producers who came and worked with me, because Afro Roots, as I said, is the sound of the future. It is Afrobeats with message.
Wow. Let me read some comments before we enjoy Rise. Rocky wants to hear the song because straight from the studio, he's not heard it yet. But be the first person to hear it if you go on the streaming platforms or get on YouTube and watch the video. I'm sure the video is there already.
The video is right there on YouTube.
So guys,
Ghana, and then also on your reels, the thing that I'm asking, the support that I'm asking for all Ghanaians is that, and yes, I'm sending me sika and asking about a collection, be mami and I yes. Just say, also be I and say, we real Instagram and TikTok. Rocky Dawuni Rise, usually say no sana yenina you bit me apateki support your artists so that the song will go far and people will see it. And then stream it and also watch the video on YouTube and share it. Yes.
Please get on YouTube. If you get there and you watch the video, just leave a comment. And the Dusty asked me to come. And the Dusty took me here. And the Dusty brought me here. Just leave a comment. Let them know you're listening. Rocky Dawuni Rise. Get on YouTube. Leave a comment. And the Dusty brought me here. All right. Jayon episode says the man himself is here. Santino Khalifa says Andy Rasta Dusty. Bra Rocky is a legend, synonymous to the almighty Robert Nesta Marley. I salute him, and you are a legend for bringing him twice in a year. Zion Stein says our biggest export when it comes to music. Big up yourself anytime, any day, champ. Niak Lamawan says good morning, live from Pram. Raindorf and Anu Buedu says hero. Desmond Adoano says good morning. Pagwesi says play the music. All we want is to hear them. Okay. Here we go with Rise, people. Oh no! Let me get on YouTube. Let's watch it from YouTube.
Hey, yeah, sure with YouTube. And the Dusty, many and the Dusty will have to say, tear Rise.
Yeah, man. Let me show. Let me go and stream it right now. Rocky Dawuni Rise. Hey, immediately I typed Rocky Dawuni, in Ghana appeared. Rocky Dawuni Rise. Okay. Here we are. Okay. And the man is walking. Folks, I see a man in white walking and a beautiful lady with afro.
1 2 1 2. Would it come live from here?
Listeners, hear it for the first time if you've not Flights in the video, don't be small. No, the flights in the video alone. Charlie, the flights in the video. But I like it because of one thing: the pictures, because the directors are photographers.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of, oh man.
And then we collaborated with, it was a big collaboration. So like the fashion designers,
Okay.
Ghanaian fashion designers, Juju Items who did the clothing and a whole lot of other design. There was models who were, Black Amish, all of those. And then the dancers, doing both traditional and contemporary, and then photography is just representing our culture in a tasty, new, progressive African Renaissance vision and vibration.
Man.
Yes.
Listeners, let's listen to it again, man. Let's listen to it again. Now let's soak. Wow, melodious, man. This is nice.
Yes, man.
Nice,
Yes,
nice.
man. Yes, man. Yes, man.
I've added it to my playlist.
Yay.
Yeah.
We give thanks. So on all the Instagram posts, use Rise. All your TikTok posts, use Rise. Facebook, rise. You know what I mean? It's a song about the time in which we are right now. You know, let's rise above our differences, our political colors. Let's rise for a concept of one Ghana, nationhood, togetherness, oneness, unity. You know, let that transcend all the vitriol that is being put into our political conversations right now. You know, yes, man.
Okay. So it's out.
It's out everywhere. The video is right now on YouTube. So, you know, everybody that's listening, this is the opportunity to go and keep like pushing this, you know, and supporting Ghanaian music. And then at the same time too, it's a music of inspiration. So the more you listen to it, it makes you feel good. In the morning you wake up, you know, you listen to it, you rise in the morning, you give thanks to God.
That's why I'm saying I've adopted it, because it will sit very well on my morning show.
Yes. Yeah.
It will sit
Rise. Everybody for rise. Yeah, you know.
Sit
Mati, and the dusty or Hadamu. The morning show, they be all bad. I say, right, rise.
Asante Backman says, so Andy, I like Rocky Dawuni very much, but this morning I'm very disappointed in him for championing Afrobeat like that. When you listen to his new song you just played, I'll classify it as a high life song, but he's trying to classify it as an Afrobeat song. As big as he is, if he champions high life and stop mentioning Afrobeat in his
I say Afro Roots.
Well,
yeah. So he should know that it's Afro Roots is high life music and reggae music.
Okay.
Yes, man. So to correct you, this is Afro Roots. That's why you hear the high life inside, you know. So the whole thing is that we have our own sound and our own genre, as I've been saying. That, you know, many people can call it so many ways. You know, high life music is there, but I feel that what I have done in terms of that has worked for me is really taking high life music, fusing it with reggae, and also adding this sense of modern touch to it. And that's what we just heard. That's Rise. So make you know, the thing you talk, you know, this no be Afro beats. This is Afro Roots. Yes, sir.
Okay. Nice. Selection GA says, wow, great tune, super. Alpha Toure says, I love this guy. Which guy?
Andy B, they talk about you. Yes.
Maybe we meet it.
Yes, it be you.
Snoop Dogg met with Quincy Jones and he said, Quincy Jones, hey Snoop, how you doing? Say, I'm good, nephew. Say, hey, who's your nephew? Adam, good morning.
Man, yes.
Morning, Mr. Dusty.
Right. Rocky is here. You heard the song?
Yeah, I listened to the song. I mean, when it comes to, Rocky, he pays attention to details. I mean, looking at his experience and exposure. So I'm not surprised. If you listen to the sound quality, it tells you where it's coming from. And that's Rocky Dawuni. So, I mean, it's a nice one. I mean, like most of the times, we are of the view that when it comes to local promo, we do not see much from him. So maybe this time around he needs to connect with all the locals, and ensure that I mean the influence is felt everywhere, so that that will be a narrative of the past. So we'll see more of him.
Yeah, I mean, with Rise, you see there's a big high life element to it, and that was what we elevated to show that our sound, when we say high life, does not mean that we pay homage and we still honor the traditions, but at the same time people can integrate that into their sound and it represents who we are, you know. So Afro Roots foundation is high life music,
right?
And I feel that this is also a kind of a snapshot as to the possibilities of where our sound can, the direction where our sound can go.
Andy, as a goodwill ambassador of the UN and going for a conference on environment among others, I want to ask your take on what Galamsey is doing to our water bodies.
Oh, he's mentioned it.
Among
he's mentioned it.
I spoke about it.
You came late anyway. Kwame.
Rocky's here.
Yes, my brother.
Always African, always exuding the African ideals and all that. for somebody whose background is purely reggae. I'm
No,
always
it's
no
not
no
purely
no.
reggae.
Okay,
As you can hear,
I'm
yes.
intrigued for the fact that you always try to infuse our local rhythms.
Yes.
And I got to appreciate that more when I reviewed the voice of Boom Boom.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's another wicked album.
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. That was where I got to know that Rocky isn't just a reggae musician,
Yes.
but you actually employ all the rhythms that we have in our country.
Yes.
And Andy, you remember a few days ago, for the past few weeks, we've been talking about the high life genre and how to preserve it.
Yes.
And we mentioned that one way to do that is that regardless of whichever genre that you apply your trade in,
Yes.
you can pick bits and pieces of our rhythms
Yes.
into your sound.
Yes.
And I think you are doing that, and that is fantastic.
Yes.
It's something that we can all learn from.
And
as
even
in-
when you talk of voice of Bumbo, like a song like Wara.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and I did not even see the connection. When Wara came out, all of a sudden I started getting a lot of calls from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
They said that the sound is mental
Okay.
music.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, this is high life music. So you see how our music just mirrors each other.
Yeah.
So they heard it, and all of a sudden, just because of the way it was presented, they really connected like over there. So our sound gives us opportunity for cultural conversation with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora.
Connects.
Connect in a deeper spiritual, cultural sense. That's why we can never let go of that identity.
Great.
That identity is ingrained in our DNA.
Yeah.
And we need to, when we infuse it, our truth stands out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, for me, I feel, and we can come from anywhere. You can come from hip hop. That's why hip hop, hip life. You infuse it with new ideas, it becomes a new form, but doesn't lose the context of what it really
Sure.
is. And that's what Afro Roots 2 is about. So
I like
thank
the
you
concept.
Thank you for.
I like the
for
concept.
yes,
And
yes.
also listening to most of your songs, it came to mind that you don't not just high life,
Yes.
but the Ghanaian rhythms. Last time I learned we have more than 600 Ghanaian rhythms. So I hear different types of rhythms
Yes.
in your music.
Yes.
It means that you're not just towing one line,
Yes.
but you are exploring everything we have as a people. So to the younger ones, to other people who keep complaining that our traditional music is getting lost, or what makes us unique is getting lost,
Yes.
they should also try. If you are doing maybe jazz, you are doing whatever, you can still pick some of the things we have, the rhythms we have, and then put that into your song and then make it.
Yeah,
quite
I
unique.
think most of our young musicians should also make it a point to maybe go study and learn our traditional music and dances in its purest form.
Okay.
You see, I had the luxury, I would say, when I attended Services Primary, we had a music class which was tradition.
Oh, okay.
So I learned a lot of the traditional dances, the traditional rhythms from all the different things. I was in the dance group, I was in the music group, so all the Kwan Logo stuff, you learn all the drums, everything. And so and then it became a point of growth for me too. So I started learning sounds from all the different regions. When I hear the tradition like a Nyunkro, I mean, God, I mean, what an amazing musical art form. You go to, what's it called, the Upper region, when you hear the Frafra music.
Yeah.
Frafra music is the funkiest music before James Brown. You know what I mean? And every time I see James Brown, I'm just like, Charlie, you be Frafra, man. Yeah, because, like that move and the whole it's like the Frafra style of music. And you can see when you are an observer and you understand music that deep, you can see how the people, the culture did not survive, but the music survived. So you can see it in the people. So, and then I, Malian music, when I travel to any place I go, when I was in Israel, I was learning about klezmer music. I am a student of music. So I try to learn because you find yourself in everybody's music. And in doing so, you actually get to know yourself better and appreciate what you have. So all our musicians should make sure that they learn the traditional music in its purest form.
Good.
And then when you know that, and you are also, you become a conduit of its preservation, And at the same time, you have a much more deeper knowledge of being able to distill those important elements of that music to integrate into your own contemporary vision. You know, so I mean, I don't know if you have Wara here, but I think that maybe people have kind of, because I feel that song is, it shows. Many people came to me like, "Hey, Rocky, my name say Ultimate Can Chisa,"
Oh, yeah.
and I'm saying, "Share, what do you?"
My focus today is on rice. So
Yes.
I'm gonna put some energy on the rice.
Exactly. We're putting energy on
We're
rice.
rising.
We're rising. But
Right.
your perspectives are very, very incredible and valuable. And I think there should be also a training. When we have training for music too, there should be traditional music training for artists.
Yeah.
So if every artist that wants to learn, Charlie, it's knowledge. It will make you better. You can't be a better copy of somebody else's. You can be a good copy of your own self. So let's just go and learn. And in doing so, we are preserving this. In doing so, we are honoring the troubadours and icons. Where is our museum to honor our high life greats? Where is Akwesi Ampofweje, where is Black Chinese, where is KKs, where is all the people who created this incredible sound that is influencing the whole world, and now you can hear it in Rise right there.
Okay. Oh my God, Okay, it's been a very interesting conversation. Always meeting with Rocky. Each time I meet with Rocky, I mean, we can talk for like, forever.
Hours.
Yeah.
Hours and hours. Yeah.
The man is so much endowed with his knowledge, with music, and a lot of.
Thank you.
God has blessed you.
Has blessed all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
we're so happy you swung by. Thank you very much. We'll hold on to this.
Yes.
We'll hold on to to
People
Rise.
have to rise to your show in the morning.
That's right. Yeah, it says very well here.
Yes.
And so we'll make sure we put it on the playlist every day. Thank you very much for coming.
And all Ghanaians to put it on their playlist and supporting this. Let's support Brand Ghana. Just like in the elections, let's support Brand Ghana. Red, gold, green with a black star is the only important color during our elections. Let's preserve the peace. You have the right to choose which political party you belong to. That does not mean somebody else doesn't have the right to choose what political party they are. And in that harmony, we all rise together as a nation.
Thank you very much for coming, sir. God bless you and
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful day.
Thank you.
Listeners, stay with us.